What good everyone? Gameplayer episode 58. Close to the 60 mark. As you guys can see, give me a second, let me, tweet it out that we're live. We are a few people short. If anyone wants to join, hit me up. You're welcome to join the conversation. Especially Hanma. I'm curious about your intake. So what we're gonna cover. Give me a second, I'm tweeting it out. And I'm gonna do all the, what I just said when everyone comes through. So yeah, episode 58. Let's start with Innate. How are you, man? What you been playing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Right now, really just I went back to The Witcher 3 recently, obviously because of the update, which has been great. I've been enjoying that. Um, I also, for all the haters out there, who think that we don't know what we're talking about on this show, I've been playing High on Life, which is arguably extremely mid, to say the least. Um,
Oh, is it genuinely mad? Cause you know
oh
me,
yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I
you can experience it for yourself firsthand, and see what it really is. But some of the praise for this game has absolutely got to be a freaking joke.
so
Um, yeah, but yeah, I've been playing that. Um,
okay. So talk
and
about
then
it then.
also
What,
Kingdom
what,
Battle.
what are the gripes in the game, if you could, and what are the pros and what
I
are
mean,
the
there's
cons?
just nothing special. That's the problem. There's nothing
Oh,
unique about it.
how?
And
Wait,
other than the talking points that you've seen already, which are the talking guns going crazy all the time.
but is
And
that
even
not?
and even then, I personally find myself not even laughing, like
Oh,
90% of the time. Like it's not even funny.
so this is what the fuck, Viper? Okay, I guess. Is this how should I say this? Um, is this like so we both play Borderlands. We love the franchise. We both have done the the a quest line where you get a talking gun or a talking shield. Does
Yeah,
it?
you can't even relate it to that. Like that doesn't talk nearly as much. Like these talk way more. Like he's talking
Hmm.
through situations and a bunch of other stuff. Like,
Okay,
yeah. So
so it's
it's
kind of
not
like
comparable.
you have a person with you, like kind
Yeah,
of like
basically somebody in your ear. Like when you're on a mission and someone back at mission control is talking to you, except this person is with you because it's the gun.
okay. And is it a novelty that runs up very quick, or is it rather annoying, or is it just there?
Well, no, I
There
mean he
is.
says some sensible stuff. Like he doesn't go crazy. The knife is the one that goes crazy. The knife is literally crazy, like actually crazy. He doesn't really say anything like you know,
That makes sense.
yeah, like it's just all about killing. Like, which is it's funny for about the first 5 minutes. Like, that's funny, and then it runs out. Like the other gun so far is okay. I haven't gotten the rest of the guns, however many there are.
I
The
saw a
game doesn't
knife.
seem to be very long, so I'm assuming there's not that many guns. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the first one, there's nothing wrong with it, right? Like, there's just nothing extraordinary about it either. It plays like any standard shooter, old school style shooter. Jump in this area, kill some stuff. Jump in this area, kill some stuff. Knock this thing down for a puzzle. Jump in this area, kill some stuff. Like
How's the
it's.
combat? How's the shooting mechanic?
I mean, it doesn't feel terrible. It just feels like you're playing like Doom or something. Like
Um,
it's very modeled after like old school Doom.
so would you then say that this game is outdated, idea-wise,
I
or
just don't think
rather
it's anything special. Like
gameplay-wise?
you just need more, right? And we've talked about this before, right? You can't just be that one thing anymore. Like there's just not enough to it, right? Like me personally, like I get extremely bored with games that have like that one trick. Like it needs more than that. Like one of the games that we love, right? Borderlands, right? Borderlands doesn't just do one thing. It has a ton of stuff going on with the mechanics, whether it's your weapon, whether it's your armor, whether it's the shield, whether it's the characters in the world, the way the quests are designed, some of the unique quests, some of the like. There's so much going on, right? Like this is just kind of like proceed from point A to B. Here's this new thing. Like it's very old school in its design. So yeah, yeah, outdated is a good way to describe it. Like it's just not much to it. Like and for some people they're gonna love that because that's all this they play anyway is a bunch of simple ass games with not much to them, and I'm sure they'll love it.
Interesting, because you know me, I would have played it if I had access to it.
I mean, if you
And
do in the future, I mean, by all means, man. I always say play it for yourself if you got the opportunity. Um,
oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
for
right now
sure.
it's sitting at a solid 6.5.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
said, I told somebody there's a certain thing for me, right? I've gamed for so long. If I ever get the feeling that I want to stop playing a game, like, all right, I'm good. I'm just gonna stop here. Like, and it literally doesn't concern me. Like, if I don't get that, God, I just want to keep playing this game. If I
Mm,
don't get that from a game, that's already telling me
then you
it's
failed.
not where it should be. Yeah.
Um, okay. I I have to say it. High Life or Callisto Protocol?
Oh, Callisto Protocol is better by like leaps and bounds all day.
Oh no,
Yeah, all day.
come
I
on.
would play Callisto Protocol. I play Callisto Protocol again over finishing like
You're
this game at this point.
crushing my soul with this one.
Mhm. Mhm. I said it. Especially with the new animations finally speeding up, getting rid of that bullshit. Yeah, absolutely. Callisto Protocol is much better.
We're gonna talk about it. I should have put it on title screen. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that. It is demoralizing. I had so much hope for this. I hope for this one. Okay, so
It,
is it fair to say that Callisto Protocol is also one note?
the what?
'Cause is it also fair then to say Callisto Protocol is also one note? Because it does one thing.
No, but yeah, but there's more interesting. There's still some interesting things happening, like with the different weapons.
With a
A
story.
combination of system mechanics. Like I'm not even gonna say it's completely inert, right? Like I said, I completely get why some people are enjoying it, but people talking about 10 out of 10 must play can get the fuck out of here. Like that's just absolute
I
bullshit. Like,
mean,
let me know when your check clears. Like at that point.
we know that bullshit. Come on, we don't. Yeah, you know, you already know. But I genuinely wanted to, give it a fair, what you call it, a fair critique. Banter, but I'm not gonna skip out on game because of banter. I would make a judge for myself and judge it by myself, and then decide if it's worth it or not. Even if I buy it in discount, I would rather buy it in discount and experience it than miss out on it because of its meta score.
For sure.
So it's sitting of what, 57, something like that?
I don't know, it got destroyed. And I mean, even with the little few reviews that it did get.
Give me a second to look it up. Meanwhile, I gotta ask, you tried a Stella Harvest or something like that, I forgot the name. While we were
Not
on.
not enough for it to matter. I can't really speak on it yet.
Oh, so you don't have enough context about the game?
Yeah, no, I mean, I barely planted some stuff and picked it, and I really haven't gotten into Harvestella.
Gotcha. Any other game you're playing?
Outside of still finishing up Mario Kingdom battles, no, not right now,
You're still on that?
bro. It's convoluted. The part that I'm at, it's complicated to explain. You'd have to literally see me play it to understand why it's convoluted. Like it's not as straightforward as it seems, and like the further you get, the more complex it starts to get. So it just, yeah, it's taking a minute.
Mm-hmm. And does it have all these bullshit misses that XCOM does?
Nah, you don't have that problem at all. I'll be tearing
Okay.
shit up in this game.
Gotcha. Um, Weep, how are you, man? And what you been playing?
Good. I've been playing Cult of the Lamb.
Yay!
Yay.
You're
Yeah,
still on it?
I'm still on it. Almost done. At least I think this is the final boss I have to beat. Um, yeah, it's fun. It's still buggy though. Once in a while, it will uh, hang, and then you have to restart for some reason. But other than that, it's a fun little game. It's uh, fun that you can name your own cult and name your cult member. So of course, I've named a few in your honor, and then sacrificed them. But yeah, it's a fun little game. And probably will finish it maybe today, and then I'm gonna hop onto Crisis Core. I think, yeah, which is burning a hole in my table.
Crisis Core is your next game?
Sorry?
Crisis Core is your next game?
That's gonna be my next game, yes.
This solidified what I'm gonna talk about it with this game that I'm playing. Cause that's a dead on arrival. I'm gonna explain why. So shout out to Viper Reeb. He can't make it, family, but he is in chat. So he says, "Edge of Eternity is messy at the end. Lots of bugs and glitches in Chapter 5. More manageable than Sword and Fairy 6, though. Nothing will ever touch Sword and Fairy 6. Maybe Fallout 76. No. Cyberdrunk 76. Maybe. Okay. So as for me, I have had a few games that I've played. I played a few demos. I played a demo called The Out. But so basically, it's a turn-based roguelite card game. It's an indie game. It's for $15. It's from a developer called Kimco. If you on PlayStation or no, Xbox or Nintendo, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, what you want to say?
Nobody was saying anything.
I thought you said something because your light bulb and there's some sound. Um, it's I got addicted to that game, dude. I'm just playing the demo and I'm doing run after run after run after run. And here's the thing. Not gonna, beat around bush. It have microtransactions or loot boxes. I forgot which one it is. But it's not tedious. And here is why. Just by doing one run, you get almost enough money to buy 10 loot boxes per run. And even then, it's like you don't have access to them. What you unlock is gonna go through to you in your run. However, what you start with is pretty basic. But it's so fun and addictive. Again, I go back to the word addictive. I might pick it up, or I will wait on sale for this one because I have a lot of other games to play. Okay, so another game I was interested, I'm gonna get. It's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Right now, it's for $25 with every single DLC. And of course, the next gen, whatchamacallit, upgrade for free. Hi Garuda. So I played the demo and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna get this one. it's almost like turn-based Dragon Ball Z, if that makes sense. It's fast-paced. There is a demo available for you to try. The other game that I played demo, it's called Gundam Revolution or something of such ilk. It's the newest Gundam that came out. It's Chibi Gundam. I don't know. So, Innate, enlighten me on this one. Why make Gundam Chibi? Is that a thing?
I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you why they keep doing that. I'm assuming it
I
has
can-
something to
I
do with
can tell
licensing.
you
One,
or
why.
some
one
shit.
person at a time. Go ahead,
I,
Innate, finish your thought, and then you
no,
weave.
hold on. I can tell you
Oh,
that.
if you
There
can
you go.
tell them to answer, go ahead.
Yeah, because the license is cheaper if they're chibi.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, so I was right. It was about licensing
Yeah.
Because
because you don't need the actual likeness of the full Gundam. I guess like the full size Gundam.
but you are getting everything qua model.
Yeah, but it's not the version. Like the version of Burning Gundam that's famous is the normal size model. Like the one that is just like the show. The chibi one, albeit this, is the thing, it's still chibi. It's a modified cute version of it. It's not it. I know it seems weird, but I get it. Like they're weird about stuff like that.
It's interesting. So I from what I played so far, I was lost. I like the concept because you're a game inside a game, if that makes sense. And you need to rewrite history. But if you have if you are not a Gundam fan, or rather you haven't watched all the Gundams, you're gonna be so lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
there's a
would
lot
you
going
play
on.
it?
Sorry, what did you say, Weeb?
I said, if you're not a Gundam fan, why would you even play it?
Um, I am a Gundam fan, normal Gundam fan, but I haven't watched every single Gundam. The only Gundam I've watched is Gundam Wings 1 and 2.
Yeah,
And
then you're not a Gundam fan. You're casual.
yeah, I literally said I'm a Gundam fan on casual one. And not Golden, Burning Blood. I saw a view, I saw a little bit. That's something I would get into because that's hardcore. But to me, I was so lost. I was genuinely lost. But I had fun with the combat, so I'm gonna wait on a very steep price drop for this one. Cause this one have mad DLC. And if you buy it right now, you're literally need to pay what, $90 in it, right?
You said the what?
If you need to buy the fuck Giga edition, how much do you need to buy? 80, 90?
It was. I think it was upwards of 90. It was expensive as shit.
Yeah,
That's a big reason why
precisely.
I was waiting. It is really expensive though, which is notorious for those things. Because the other games that I play that are based on those franchises, like Super Robot Wars and stuff, has a ton of them. There's 3 editions. There's that version that we usually, refer to as the Giga edition or whatever. But then there is another edition specifically that has the music from it, like the official music. So they create like an alternate version of the music that sounds really similar. And personally, I never noticed, so I never buy that version. But there's another version that comes with all the like this really really heavy licensed music, like the authentic music. But like, I mean, I personally don't notice. Like, it all sounds the same to me. But yeah, I guess like that's a whole thing as well for other games that use the likeness of a lot of stuff like Gundam and things like that.
Oh
Notoriously
shoot.
expensive. Those
Give
are
me.
$124 for the record. Those things are expensive as hell.
Give me a second, I need to fix the title. It's
Oh, yeah.
cannibalizing, not cannibalizing.
Gotcha.
Cannibalizing. Cannibalizing sales article. Oh no. Again. There you
Just let me know
go.
when you got it.
I got it. And we're done. Sorry about that. I actually thought of a different title, but not enough space. Okay, so other than that, I also played, I'm playing right now a game called The Outbound. Give me a second, I need to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. Because this game is dead on arrival. I'm gonna explain why. The Outbound.
Ghost, right?
Yeah, The Outbound Ghost. You can pick it up for $30 on PlayStation. Steam key literally 7.5 and 8. Get on that. Unless you want it for your PlayStation. Then good luck.
Yeah, I never even heard of this game.
I think you're gonna love it. It's turn-based. It's turn-based. It's turn-based and it's also Pokemon-y. In the sense of, but instead of catching
Oh,
you,
I've seen a excerpt for this. Yeah, I just probably won't have time. It's probably the biggest thing. I mean, it looks interesting, but it's just it's got to take a backseat to some of the bigger titles coming.
that's what I'm gonna talk about. It got some good ass story. The story is,
They all look like little balls.
yeah, the story is very interesting. It does have shortcomings. The first one is you can only fast travel at the beginning of the map. There is no way to fast travel between a certain map. Like for example, you go to one area, you need to fast travel at the beginning of the area. You can't fast travel to the middle of area. I say that because this game have a lot of backtracking at certain point in the game, especially if you want to get everything. Other than that, there are two moments where I fell through the map. First one was literally 5 minutes or 10 minutes after I started the game, so I couldn't do anything. I had to restart a new game. And the second one literally done after at the beginning of chapter 2. So I was forced to, beat the end boss of chapter 1 again. Irritating, but that's life. Other than that, I never had an FPS drop. I never had anything. What I did have was the camera placement, not following the text bubble, or the text bubble being covered by an animation. They didn't think of that. Literally, the very first fight you do, the text bubble is covered by covering the animation, so you're not gonna see a lot of what the story is about, what the explanation is about, which
I got you.
is weird. But other than that, I cannot recommend this game enough. This game have a lot of different play style. So, for example, there is something called Fragment. Fragment is like your main cast members. You unlock them through progressing to the story or exploring. You need to fight them to unlock them. To beat them, or after you beat them, you unlock them. The second thing would be is these fragments can be equipped with something called, we're gonna call it accessories. These accessories are your bread and butter. when you hit an enemy, a meter pops up, and you need to hit it at the correct spot to get the perfect damage.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I don't know what other game, maybe Paper Mario, but it's a little different. You can. This game is, how should I say it? It's media streamlined. What I mean by that is you can literally make it harder on yourself or easier on yourself. You can up the XP level, the amount of XP you get. You can make it that the enemies hit harder or easier. I don't know if there is any trophies involved that you need to not do that. Myself, I haven't touched anything of such ilk, but what I have done, I have found a perfect way to level myself up. I literally went from level 43 to 51 in one fight, or 53 in one fight, and that was glorious. Um, Other than that, I cannot recommend this game enough. And here is where my problem come in. Apparently, this game have a drama surrounding it with its release. This game was crowdfunded, and I actually visited the place where they thank the people that crowdfunded the game. They have their names as tombstones, and the one person says, "This world wouldn't exist, would have never existed without these people." So they clearly are thankful, so shout out to them for that. When it comes to story, fantastic. Revelation after revelation, I just got a bombshell of a revelation. Other than that, it needed voice acting, would have been better, but I will forgive it. But here's what's the biggest problem with this game. Its launch window. How you gonna... Can someone explain to me how you're gonna release your game with a AAA game that people are mostly hyped about, which is Final Fantasy Crisis Core? It's a remaster, but still, it's a remaster that a lot of people never played. And arguably one of the biggest indie release this year, which is Chained Echo. And whatchamacallit, Witcher 3. That's unimportant. Now, real talk though. They didn't choose the best release window with this one. And I fear it's gonna affect itself, because outside of me and one other person, I haven't seen a single person talk about this game. And I'm talking turn-based, it's not the RPG, but turn-based fans. It's...
I mean, like I said, the problem is largely, I mean, there's never going to be a good time. I mean, honestly, for that game. Like, it's crowded from now till fuck all. Like, at this point, like, immediately next year, we're just about to be bombarded by an onslaught of game releases, and people already have backlogs a mile long, so they're just going to have to survive in whatever climate they can get in.
I am surprised it's not on Game Pass.
Well, I mean, Microsoft probably didn't think it was worth the purchase. So, that's the other thing you got to remember. It's got to be worth the price of entry, so...
They literally got, whatchamacallit, that FPS, 0x, cross zero, whatchamacallit, that abysmal reviewed game, Crossfire X, they funded that, but, okay, yeah, with this one,
yeah, because Crossfire was a very popular IP, so It's addictive.
Yeah, I wish more people, what you call it, were talking about this game, because this game is great. When it comes to story, when it comes to combat, it's just a sandwich between between uh, what you call it, an indie and a triple A game. So
I
okay,
mean, to be
but
honest, even if it wasn't, I still probably wouldn't be playing it until sometime next year.
because you have a backlog, right?
Yeah, I'm
But we,
busy. Like literally,
uh,
even people who say they don't have backlogs are full of shit. They've got at
but
least 2 to 3 games they haven't
okay,
finished.
yeah. But let me ask you this then. I say we. Okay, I'm gonna say me. I know this is gonna be right up your alley. Cause you love turn-based game.
Yeah, but I also like shit to be graphically appealing,
Ah, come on, you're playing Chained Echo.
which is graphically appealing.
This
Its
is
art style is
this
great.
this is great art style. There is nothing wrong with this art style. It's funny. Not funny. It's kiddie, but it got dark story behind it.
You missing like you got to get to that though. That's what I'm saying. Like no one's gonna pick this game over games they were looking forward to. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like it's just not. Like
Which is
I feel
great.
after you got into it, like with the limited amount of time most people have, like they're just not like I'm trying to fit in everything that I'm playing now, and next year is not about to get any better. Like pretty much
Yeah.
once Hogwarts and Forspoken and a couple other games launch,
Mm,
Dead Island 2, and it's just there's so many, like I'm forgetting shit actively while I'm telling you. Like
Stellar
I didn't
Blade.
play this. I mean, I'm not picking that up, but that again, that's another game for people. For me, uh, you've got the Mega Man Battle Network. Like that's like 8 games in one, or
Is
like
that
10 games
out?
in one. No, I'm saying it comes out next year, like January. Like like the onslaught is not gonna stop. So it's like if people aren't playing it now, they're probably not gonna play it then. That's what I'm saying.
There
I mean, the
is
yeah.
there is also Valkyrie Profile Lennis that coming out at 22.
Mm.
This, mm?
Yeah, I'm not particularly looking forward to that, but
I am absolutely looking forward to that. I never played Valkyrie Profile, so that's gonna be my first time playing it.
That's not
but
a
the
game
game,
I think would disrupt it though.
yeah, but the game, like if there's a game that looks interesting, but I don't think I'm gonna play, then just put it on my you know buy later list and see when it is a discount, and maybe I'll get it.
Mm. I would not be surprised if this one hit PlayStation Plus and Game Pass soon.
I don't know.
Okay, enough about that. Let's start with the first topic. You already brought it up. We even covered it last week or 2 weeks ago, which is, are we getting punished for buying games day one? And I'm gonna go back to that because long behold, Callisto Protocol literally did an update where they fixed two of the major issues. The first one, which genuinely I thought that was an design choice, which is the slow ass healing. I genuinely thought that's a risk versus reward mentality, you get me?
Yeah.
Which, if the case, then why not do it that you can heal while running? You're still not shooting, but you're still healing and running.
I mean, the way he does it, he should definitely be able to. He should definitely be able to heal and run. Like
Yeah,
it makes no
precisely.
actual sense that he can't.
I don't mind. No. I'm gonna word it very carefully. I wouldn't have mind the slow as healing if you could heal and run at the same time. But the fact that you literally need to take what? It's almost like 10 seconds of an animation. Longer even, 15 seconds. And while you're sitting down, you're available for enemy to kill you. It's very difficult to heal with this game. So they found, not found a way, they speed up the animation. You almost heal in 3 seconds now. Is that fair to say, Nate?
Approximately. I mean, it's considerably faster. Like if before it took about 11 seconds.
Yeah, 10, 15 seconds.
It's about 3 to 4 seconds now.
Yeah.
Way faster.
So almost like 3 times faster.
Essentially.
And that would have been so much helpful, especially at the final boss fight. So there is that. They also gave you the ability to skip death animation now. Wow. So what happened to the other people that were defending it? Says you can skip death animation by literally reloading your save file. I'm like, reloading from the last checkpoint. I'm like, that's a way around, workaround. That's not the intended way. And actually, the way
they should have allowed you to skip actual cutscenes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna cover that. The way they did it now, it's actually faster than reloading your to the last checkpoint. It's lightning fast how you can skip animation now. So,
I mean, I didn't die that much, so that wasn't really something I noticed. But I mean, quality of life, I'm not, changes. I'm not going.
I did die a lot because of bugs. You already know. I already talked about it. And my question for you is innate. I've seen it now with people just saying, fuck it, I'm not gonna buy the game day one anymore. Is Callisto Protocol the outliner, or is it going to be a standard with this one?
No, I mean, there's plenty of games that I bought day one that I was perfectly glad I bought them day one. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to get the outliers, and there's other benefits that have intended or unintended that I've had or other people have had from getting it early. I'm glad I got to experience Horizon, for instance, before they started swinging the Nerf bat and lowering damage on things and stuff like that, because that would have heavily altered my experience with that game. Many people took advantage of the Kana thing where they got the platinum because they had it early, and I mean they patched that fast, but plenty of people got the platinum. With that, like I said, that's an example of an unintended benefit.
For the people that don't know, Kana had almost like a glitch where you can.
Almost, it was a glitch.
Well, it's a glitch. What about where you can go to the final boss? No. You can load up your your save file after you beat the final boss. Go there, put it on the highest difficulty, because you actually can change difficulties. And then when the game ends, you get the hardest difficulty trophy, despite the fact you never have even done it. That's kind of the same thing was happening with Callisto Protocol, right, in 8?
You said that's the same thing?
Yeah, because it's literally after the final boss options, you literally.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
It,
but you don't even have to, you do it after you beat the boss.
with Kaina as well, but you can save. Remember, you can save after you beat the boss in Kaina.
Yeah. So, yeah, you change it after, and then you can get the trophy for completing it on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for Callisto Protocol, you actually need to start a new playthrough. But with this one, you started on easy, and you go to the final boss, and then you switch it to the hardest difficulty.
Yeah,
Oh
so
no,
it's done a little different, I guess.
yeah, it's different. Yeah, so there is that. Um, I am curious if this is now setting a precedent or it's an absolutely outliner. Cause that's
I mean,
not
it's not going to be
cool,
an
dude.
outlier. There's too many games. Like there's going to be 10,000 games that release between this year and next year that we're not going to play. So we can't really say whether it's an outlier or not. Like we've obviously seen other games launch with problems that have been fixed, in the first week or two.
Two
So, I
biggest,
mean, yeah.
two biggest games were Forbidden West and Callisto Protocol uh, launched and altered with patches. Remember, Forbidden West got some of the biggest patches, which it nerfed weapons, but it also has the ability, gave you the ability to respec your skills.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like you get different levels of quality of life things. I'm really, 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 really tired though of games launching that know they need a new game plus and then not launching with it. That's extremely annoying.
I am amazed that they prioritize photo mode over New Game Plus.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Precisely. Going to you, Wee, what's your thoughts? Hey, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, even a game like what we call it, Cult of the Lamb was released with bugs and
Extremely
glitches,
buggy.
and even
Extremely.
Edge of Eternity. Shout out to Viper Reap, but one of the reasons why I didn't pick up Edge of Eternity at the beginning, cause I saw a tweet from Jade saying that she having glitches and bugs with this one. So I'm curious. Weeb, what's your thought?
I mean, Call of the Lamb still has glitches, so
It have,
so
eh?
so there's not much of an advantage of waiting. Some games never get fixed, basically. So, but it's like Nate said, most games don't. It's not like a trend or anything. Like it has always been the case that some games launch buggy, and yeah, you get punished if you play day one. But it's not like that's the general tendency. Okay, if you only play shit games, then maybe to you that might be more of the rule than the exception. But for most games, they generally launch in a playable state. I mean, I haven't really had any major games releasing this year that I played day one that where I experienced game-breaking bugs, or at least bugs that are so annoying, or gameplay mechanics that later got patched that completely ruined the experience for me. I mean, like with Forbidden West, like that game was playable day one, and the only thing they added, were or changed were things that might either sort of like improve your experience a little bit, or yeah, nerf weapons, right? But other than that, it doesn't really affect me, because I'm not going to go back there and play the game again, for those improvements. So I mean, I don't, let's say, share your pessimism there. I mean, I didn't play Callisto Protocol, but I know some games launch buggy. Like I remember playing Darksiders 3, like when it launched. I don't know if they ever fixed it, but that game had some issues where I can see why they critics, uh, well, gave that game like I think 7 or something. Uh, yeah, I mean it's justified in that sense that it had some performance issues where it could load to crawl times, but the game was overall playable to me, and I enjoyed the franchise. So for me, it wasn't that much of an issue. So I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't think it's like a trend or anything. Yeah, whether or not you're punished, that depends on you, I guess. I mean, if you think that the experience is that bad that you should have waited, sure. But if you really want to play that game day one and you enjoy the experience, yeah, or I think it's worth plowing through the frustration, yeah, that's a choice you have to make. I mean, I also know people of this panel who may not be there at this moment really enjoyed the game. And the experience can also be very subjective, not just in terms of what you can tolerate, but also what you experience. Like bugs can be very specific to your console, your individual console, because there is differences in wear and tear. So some bugs are extremely hard to reproduce on every piece of hardware. They might be very specific to certain people's consoles, but not yours or not mine. So you may experience a bug that I will never experience, and that could change my experience totally. So yeah, I mean, it sucks that some games launch this way, but I don't see that this is like a general concern that this means every single game is going to punish me from now on if I play day one.
Mm-hmm. It's for me, like for example, I remember with Edge of Eternity, there was a chest that she wanted to open, and it didn't open for her. And if that chest, if I remember correctly, that was literally almost like a game-breaking bug. Viper, have you ever experienced any game-breaking glitch in uh, Edge of Eternity? Um, switching. I don't know. I fear Callisto Protocol is not gonna be, the outliner. I see we're gonna see a lot of games having issue even next year. Remember, Cult of the Lamb literally released with a feature that people didn't know was a thing on the PlayStation.
Like what?
I forgot what it is, but apparently, when you're sacrificing someone, you can get the most out of it. And people beforehand had no idea that that thing was a thing. And people beat the game without even knowing they can do it because you couldn't do it beforehand. It was almost like a bug.
Was it? I don't know.
I don't. It's not the sacrificing part, but something around that. The best way to explain it, and this is not the right way. It's just an example. Imagine that you can sacrifice a person, but imagine
That's called a person Omar.
sorry.
That's called a person Omar.
Fine. Imagine you can sacrifice me, and then let's say it give you 10 HP. Yeah. I know it doesn't work like that, but bear with me.
The only thing that happens when you sacrifice somebody is that you get uh, um, some form of XP that you can use to get upgrades, but that there's only
Yeah,
like
okay. So let
certain
me bear.
at some point you have all the upgrades and you have no need for that ability anymore.
Yeah,
But
but
there's
bear
other
with
ways
me.
to get that, so it's not like you need to do that by sacrificing.
Bear with me though. Imagine now with the glitch that you had no idea that existed. If you sacrifice me and other people at the same time, you get not only 10 HP for each one, but you also get damage boost or something like that. And that would help you, like something to this degree. That was a glitch that you
I
couldn't do it beforehand.
I don't remember that, and I don't exactly know what it would be. But
Again, I
you can
didn't.
sacrifice multiple people at the same time.
It first of all, what's up, Stardust? And second, Weeb. It's an example. It's not the correct thing. I'm just explaining to you how what you missed, not you, what other people were missing out was core mechanic in the game. That was not working well because of a
What?
glitch.
But what? Yeah, okay, but it's a bit weird because the way you just described it was more like there was a glitch that you could an exploit that not everybody knew about that could give you
No,
a
no, no.
damage boost.
It's not an exploitation. It's literally a mechanic that was supposed to be in the game that wasn't functioning well. That's it.
Okay,
But
yeah,
okay, we move on from it. We're gonna start with our genuine first topic. Oh boy. So I'm I'm debating to start between Game Pass cannibalizing sales or the underdog story. Let's start light, shall we? Shout out to PlayStation and Nintendo for giving us whatchamacallit, your end report on PlayStation, and my gameplay went up. I went almost 45% up because I have no access to more games now to play. Also, I have dimmed down on watching anime, so I am back. I am behind on anime, so that's also one of the reasons. And also, I am platinum more games. When you're surrounded with Viper Reap, with Innate, with Weeb, Morgan, trust me, whether you like it or not, you're gonna plat more games. So there's that. Um, Oh, and the wreck. You can't forget the wreck. And Kay, of course. Um. So, how is it for you guys? Weeb, how was your end report for PlayStation?
You mean the or what should you call it?
PlayStation wrap up.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
PlayStation wrap up. Yeah, that's and thank you.
How was it? Pretty good, I'd say.
Any surprises?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I figured that Ryzen would be the game that I spent most time in, considering
How many
how
hours did you put in it? That was a
was.
surprise for me.
I don't know, a lot more than 100 at least.
I put 215 hours in it.
Yeah, but you were playing without upgrading, so you're making it hard on yourself on
Uh,
purpose.
yeah, fair point, but still, I explored almost everything. I got the plot.
Yeah, me too. Let's see what it is. Play.
Mm-hmm.
There's 66 hours to platinum the game.
I did most of the side quests, I think. Yeah, I think most of them. Um, I think, yeah, so for me, that was first, and then second was God of War, and then third something else.
Yeah.
I think Valhalla. Either Valhalla second or Valhalla third, because that game is big.
No, mine was God of War secondly, and third AI the Somnium Files, the Nirvana Initiative.
I gotta I gotta give a shout out to two people. First one is Rallo. This mofo put more than 500 hours
In what?
in Forbidden West. Insane. And you have also Christy. She is on Twitter and YouTube. She put double that hour amount of hours, 1,000 something hours. But hers is a little bit different because she have a channel, and almost obviously she only thing she does is Forbidden West.
Oh.
And Nate, how was your wrap up?
I mean, it was about what I expected. The biggest surprise, obviously, the hours. That definitely has to be inflated some from some of those nights falling asleep with the game on. Um, but yeah, nothing else was really a surprise. I guess Gran Turismo, but I actually know why that is with Gran Turismo because I was doing like auto races, so that game was left on like way more than
Uh,
usual. Um, that's why it was like my top game over everything. But yeah, other than that, not really any surprises.
gotcha.
But it was good. I mean, I put in that work, and I know that. So
Oh yeah. I was not surprised to say the least when I saw you guys report because I know we all games. Um,
yep.
so Nintendo had a wrap up, PlayStation had a wrap up, Xbox didn't. Am I wrong?
So far, they're radio silent. The only thing I'll say about that is that the one year they did do it, they waited till the next year to do it. So they
Oh,
did it in like January. So they maybe they'll do it again, but they've only ever done it once.
so
So I don't know.
why not have one? Why not celebrate gamers?
I mean, I couldn't tell you why. I mean, they just don't. So I mean,
It's it's
I don't really care
it's
whether they do or
almost
not.
it's almost they don't care if you game or not. They are quick to say they ate 10,000 a bag of chips in Sea of Thieves, but that's not gonna show you how many people play in this game. What's the most of time you put in game?
I mean,
Weird.
let's be real. We know that the main culprit
Even
who talk all that shit ain't gonna post theirs anyway because it's gonna
even
show very
even
clearly they don't play.
even Twitch and YouTube had a wrap up. Okay, going to Xbox. So, Digital Foundries people were talking among themselves, and the reason why I need to put up my my Twitter account, because I have it bookmarked. Because this shit is crazy. At
You
first
mean
we
about
were,
them dropping 80% in sales?
yeah, at first this shit was happening in England, but the people would say, oh, that's England. But here, so Activision Blizzard Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is now the best-selling game in the US for 2022 in just a single month on the market. Breakdown of sales in the US. PlayStation 4 slash PlayStation 5 is 61%. PC 22%, Xbox One, Xbox Series S 17%.
The home of Call of Duty is clearly on PlayStation.
This used to be this shit like, and shout out to Digital Foundry. Apparently sales have been impacted almost 80% less. So
To none of our surprises. I mean,
I
Yeah.
mean, Yeah, we've been calling it. I mean, the crew that we hang with, around with, have been calling it. But again, Twitter is an echo chamber. The question is, okay, I'm gonna flat out say it. Do you think this is going to impact third-party deals? Nate, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I mean, of course it does, which is largely why you don't see them doing as many because it's going to cost them more money to convince the third party team to not put their games on PlayStation because you're going to have to recoup the money being lost. I mean, they're going to be like, hey, look, PlayStation accounts for, 70% of our sales or whatever. And are you going to pay me that missing revenue in order to get this exclusive for a year? Because I'm largely going to miss, especially single player games, stuff like that. I'm largely going to miss a huge fan base over there by just offering it to you, even if it's just timed exclusive. Like, what are you going to do for me, basically? So, yeah, they got to recoup that cost. So, of course it does, which is largely why you don't see a lot of them making that difference, which is why Microsoft is bitching, moaning, and complaining about being the quote unquote little guy because they know that they have to pony up, the money every time to get deals like this done or similar deals to PlayStation. Because it's not that hard for PlayStation because we, the people, the fans of actual gaming, do what? Buy games. So it's not that hard to convince them, hey, why not focus on this? Give it to us. We'll promote it, which you see they also don't do for you. They don't even promote their own shit, so we'll promote it. We'll, bring the support for you and, just give us the timed exclusivity.
What you call it? High on Life was released on the down low.
Essentially.
No marketing for it whatsoever. I remember correctly, Kana had more marketing than High on Life.
It did. Kano was everywhere for a while.
I'm gonna go to you. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. Which I'm actually gonna change topic. Not per se change topic, but switch gears. Weeb East 10 got announced. Are you excited for it?
Of course I am.
Okay. Um, let's talk about it, shall we? First of all, uh, we are gonna play a PlayStation 3 game again.
It
That
was never a
that
PlayStation 3.
that disappointing.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm disrespecting the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2 game. That heartbreaking because because this game is on the Switch day one.
Okay.
Oh, I was wondering where he was going with this.
No. But it's also got another whatchamacallit issue, not issue, factual moment. It's not on Xbox.
Of course, he's just never been on Xbox. The only reason why Japanese games that were formerly exclusive to PlayStation or Switch or both appear on Xbox is when Phil goes to Japan with a bag of money and essentially begs them to put their games on Game Pass. And the thing is, with that is that if I was like Square Enix or whatever, I wouldn't put my shit on Xbox. Like I would just wait for Phil to come, pay me, give me a bag of money, and then put my games in them because that's sort of like, they're basically the dealers, right? And Phil is the addict who's coming for his next fix. Like you're not gonna just give it to him for free, right? You know that he's gonna pay for it. So,
Take
but
taken point. Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody wants to say it's just business, you know, when it's the opposite way. But then, when Square's like, well, why, you know, waste time and money porting the Pixel remasters to a set of people who won't buy them, and then they all complain and they go, "Oh, it's all PlayStation's fault."
Mhm. There's also an element to it, like at least if I would look at it from their perspective, like from Square, for example, it's like even if I wanted to put it on Xbox, like if I want to put it on Xbox, I basically now forced to put it in Game Pass because I know they're not going to buy it. Like they're going to wait until it comes to Game Pass.
Yep,
And if I put it like I think Octopath Path was on Game Pass, right? It wasn't just
it was on Game Pass. They paid
yeah,
for it to come to
exactly.
Game Pass.
So they're going to expect it to be on Game Pass, and even if you don't release it day one on Game Pass, they're going to wait until this comes on Game Pass. So you're not going to have any sales on Xbox, and if you're going to then release it on Game Pass while you're putting it, you basically tell people that you have to buy it on PlayStation or Switch, you're going to cannibalize your own sales. So
Yep.
I can understand that they're reluctant to put it on Xbox because you have to you're forced to basically adopt the Game Pass model whether you want to or not.
Essentially. And people say, "Oh, we don't do that," or this, that, and the third. But yet, every single time I see something that's coming, and 5 seconds into the comment section, I'll just wait for it to come to Game Pass. I'm just like, we're not making these things up. They're the ones saying this stuff, and they think we're the only ones that see it. And I'm like, no, like these companies can see your tweets just like we can, and all you guys talking shit about their games, and they're like, well, look, these are what these motherfuckers are saying, so fuck them.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and then, and wait until it's in Game Pass and then don't play it, right? Because that's basically their MO.
It's it's
But
very.
Omar, aside from your slides towards the goated franchise called East, I'm still very excited about it. I think it's probably going to look better than the previous entries, and even though it still is on Switch, it's not going to take away from the greatness that's going to be. So, Omar, nice try, but this is going to be a fantastic game.
I am gonna side with Nate on this one. We're gonna play an PlayStation 2 game.
And Nate wasn't saying that; you were saying that.
No. And Nate has said it multiple times before me. Would you agree, Nate? Or am I wrong with this one?
I mean, I didn't say East was. I was just saying,
No.
specifically
But you have
JRPGs,
said it on multiple
JRPGs in
occasions
general.
that.
So Xenoblade 3 is a PS2 game?
I'm talking about he's mixing up like there's a whole explanation behind that. It's not. I'm talking about the graphical fidelity of JRPGs that
In
use that
general,
same
yeah.
old tired ass flat grass. I haven't seen East 10 because I don't give a fuck about that game. But I'm
So
just if
supposedly
he's
it's
saying
going to have
that.
a new engine, so it's definitely it might be the have the Tales of Arise. Well, probably not to the extent this is going to be in Switch, but it's probably going to have a bump compared to the previous two entries, which actually
Yeah.
look all pretty good. You can see that it's a dated engine, but the art style and the art direction was pretty good for those games.
I
Yeah, I
am.
can't speak for that specifically, but I'll put a picture of what I'm talking about in chat.
Sure.
So I'm looking up for sources when it comes to this Modern Warfare, and I can't find any.
For what? Modern Warfare?
Yeah. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is
I
now
mean,
the
selling
best-selling game
61%.
in the USA for 2022. Breakdown sales USA PlayStation 5 and 4 61%, PlayStation 2 22 and Xbox 17. I'm looking for sources but I can't find any. It's just
I
a
mean, I
tweet.
would do that not on air, but yeah, I mean, it's been reported by several places already, so I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah, I'm looking for anything else and I will wait on this one, but I will not be surprised if that's the case. But I will go to Digital Foundries. They literally said that sales are down 80%. Is there a way for Xbox to remedy this? Or are they
Remedy
screwed?
it. Remedy what?
Well, they're screwed because if they remove Game Pass, they want Game Pass, people are gonna revolt. But if they
They're not gonna remove it.
but if they don't, then they're gonna quote unquote for always stay the underdog because who's gonna want to make business with them? Like how you gonna lose? How did Phil Spencer find it and Tarabant and whatchamacallit, Matt Booty and all of them combined? And even Satya Nadella, I'm gonna include them in this conversation as well. How did all of them think it's okay for them to get Octopath Traveler 1 but not 2?
I don't really think they give a shit. And ultimately, it's not up to them, regardless of what people think. You know, it's
Nah,
that's
if they went with a big bag of money, Square Enix would have said yes. We both know that, right?
I don't know how big that bag needs to be, and they don't
It
necessarily
need
have permission to do that. So
it need to be big, you know. It need to be big, cause they said the president. Remember?
that's their fault.
They
By giving out money, I mean,
yeah.
there you go.
What did they call? What did they pay for? Whatchamacallit? People will fly or can fly.
I don't remember how big that deal was.
10K or something like that. You shared a screenshot. Which game is this?
I don't remember, but that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, gotcha.
Games
I
that look like that.
I remember they paid almost 10K or something like that to get games in Game Pass. I remember them overpaying for games just to have them in Game Pass. But yeah,
That's not easy. So
no, it's not it. I don't think we have ever seen it go to game to play it.
That's
However,
what
I
I was
will
explaining to
say,
you. I wasn't specifically talking about ease. I was explaining
yeah,
I
no,
used what I said for shit that looks like that.
JRPG in general, action RPG in general.
like it's from 2016. It says here.
Yeah, but still they haven't fixed it. I have a question. When it comes to Xbox, give me a second. I genuinely forgot what I wanted to say. For fuck's sake. I had something to say and I forgot about it. Damn it! Maybe it will come back. I genuinely forgot. But I'm gonna go back to the 80% sales then. What is going to happen now then? They set the precedent, remember? By overpaying for games. And now they're not getting any deals. And then here's the kicker, they're blaming it on PlayStation.
Of course they are. Instead of all the shit that they started during the 360 generation when they thought they were in the lead because they came out with a console first.
Okay, so I warned you guys that I'm gonna talk about it and I'm gonna gush about it. How is Insomniac doing this? Insomniac Games released Spider-Man Miles Morales, and also released okay, gotcha. Miles Morales, and also released Rift Apart, and now they're working on Spider-Man 2, and they're working on whatchamacallit, Wolverine, and also they have another game that they're working on. How much did PlayStation buy them for? Real talk?
I don't make a habit of keeping those figures.
No, but chump change, relatively speaking, yeah.
Exactly.
If I remember correctly, they literally bought them for pennies.
And it was still like millions of dollars, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course, in the business, it's like Microsoft is overpaying what, 70 billion for Activision?
For 229 million.
But if you compare any output from studios that Microsoft have bought, like compare Hellblade 2, not Hellblade, what do you call it, Ninja Theory, compare the studio behind Psychonauts 2, compare Rare, compare all these studios. They don't even come close with Insomniac. And here is what I love about what PlayStation have done. They upgraded Insomniac. They gave him a new studio, a bigger studio. They gave him a bigger budget. Yo, PlayStation locked in with Insomniac with this one. The reason why I'm saying that is, according to Microsoft, they're gonna fight the FTC blockage by stating that they need this deal to go through because they're the underdog. So, a company that's how many times bigger than Sony is the underdog, and if people wanna say that that's different, that's Microsoft, not Xbox, but it's Microsoft that's buying Activision, it's not Xbox. Do you think Xbox would have been able to buy Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda?
I mean, yeah, not without Microsoft.
No. Put Microsoft aside. Xbox division alone. Would they have been able to buy Bethesda?
No, because they weren't
That's what the
profitable.
name said.
One person at a time, please. Weeb, go ahead.
No, I said that's what the Nate said, not without
Oh.
Microsoft.
So even Bethesda, I don't think they would have been able to.
No, of course not.
No. The Xbox division hasn't been profitable for them in years. It's only just now recently finally become so.
They're still losing sales on consoles.
I mean, tremendously.
While PlayStation is actually making profit on sales.
Yeah, but like I said, like the absolute ludicrous statement that they're the underdog. Like they want to have their their cake and eat it too, right? They're saying, okay, yeah, look, we're third place in console gaming. At the same time, where's the money coming from to buy, Activision? Like, how can you afford to spend $70 billion in a publisher if you were, the
The
little
little
man,
guy.
little guy? Yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, it's like I've seen idiots defending this. Like I don't understand the logic behind these people. Like, doesn't fucking matter if a $2 trillion company, whatever the fuck they do, if they open a bakery, they're not the little guy. They're there to fuck over the entire industry, be the top dog, and make sure that all the pop and mom shops will go out of business. That's their aim.
And 8, how small are they? Go ahead.
How small are they?
I'm joking, but please talk. How big are they?
There's nothing small about Microsoft in the slightest. Like this is absolute complete bullshit. Like this is Elon Musk attempting to come to a board to state why he should be allowed to purchase like a controlling interest in the entire gaming industry and act like he's the little guy. That makes no damn sense. If you were little, you wouldn't be able to make the purchase in the first place. It's just absolutely ridiculous. They're trying to play. They're this little puppy dog in a room, and they just want to do right by gamers and this, that, and the third. No, motherfucker. What you want to do is exactly what you did with Bethesda. Rip everything off as soon as possible. Start to try or attempt to get this company to create exclusives. And what you can't do in that regard, make them produce the next game as soon as possible so that you can rip that shit off the competition like Diablo and Overwatch 3 and whatever else those other companies fucking make, while also collecting extra money from King because for some reason stupid ass people still play fucking Candy Crush. And then set this fake ass 10-year deal up, so that you can rip Call of Duty off 10 years later, mid next generation, and then go, look, hey guys, if you want to continue to play Call of Duty, you gotta play it over here because it's about them controlling the industry the same way it's been about them doing that for every fucking thing that Microsoft has ever done since the inception of that company. They buy shit with the intent of buying out people. Like that's just what they do. When they tried to come into mobile, they bought out Nokia and all this other shit, and they still fucking sucked at it.
Did they not kill Nokia? Because I remember Nokia
They
was
killed it.
one of the best brand out there.
They bought them out to try and basically use their facilities and stuff to try and boost their production ability of their Windows phones and stuff, and they still got crushed. This company has a history of purchasing things, mismanaging them, and then shutting them down. And people think this renewed commitment to Xbox or whatever, or spending more money changes that. No, you still have to fucking produce something. You have to actually put something out there. They haven't done anything. And Starfield, I hate to tell people, is not an example of that. That game has been in development before they even bought them. That you need games built from the ground up since the development in full cycle with Xbox to show that they actually know how to manage some of these companies. And you know what we're getting out of these people? We're getting people fucking going to the hospital, because they're being asked to produce AAA level products that they've not been prepared for. They haven't been given the boosted infrastructure like Insomniac and the way PlayStation does their studios and slowly curates them and boosts them up and gives them the time to produce things. No, you're getting just these companies. They're like, look, we own you now, so make something better, make something big. Look, we're Microsoft, we own you. Like it's like that's what it sounds like. I'm like, what else can it be? Like this company cannot manage any fucking thing.
So
They're fucking terrible. The only
we
reason they're not kicked out of the fucking one market they have is because no one else has been able to usurp a market share large enough away from them as it pertains to Windows and Microsoft Office.
so taking point. Fable report confirms concern for Xbox exclusive. Microsoft demanding team use in-house engine. Same thing that caused issue for Halo Infinite.
There you go. Not knowing what they're doing again. The team should be telling them what to use, not the other way around.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it because I know you need to leave in an hour, right?
No, probably like it's 20 minutes, but I mean,
Okay. Yeah, we'll finish it soon. We will, few people. According to the report, the game has been struggling with development priorities due to internal politics over engine use. In other words, developers on the game are struggling with using Microsoft internal tools, and rather than let them use third-party tools, Microsoft is doubling down. I have been told internal politics over engine use has also led to developmental problems in games like Fable and Halo Infinite, as Microsoft sought to use its own tool rather than the fully featured industry standards like Unreal Engine, which further exacerbate problems around training contractors, only to lose them mid-project. Reads the report, which comes the way of Xbox Insider. This is from Jess Corden. So this is not some person saying this. This is Jess Corden. This is a dude that is in the nose with Xbox for the longest. So he says, the report doesn't dive into how much all of this has impacted the game development, but it's apparently been enough to warrant replaying the information. Remember, relaying the information. Remember, this is not the first time we have been hearing this. Specifically for playground games, Fable. We heard this 6 months ago. You remember, guys?
I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the only ones either. I mean, like I said, it was also In Exile. They were supposed to give In Exile time to boost the team, and a bunch of other stuff that's been going on with them. And then, specifically, it was not In Exile; it's the other team. But they are also expected to be boosted up as well. But it's the team behind State of Decay. The State of Decay development team was like just absolutely struggling to the point where like some of the team members were being hospitalized for like stress and all this other shit was going on.
Yeah, with this one, the report doesn't. And estimating with the other developments, there are usually eventually game problems. Just look at the other game mentioned in the report, Halo Infinite, which was missing tons of content at launch and has failed to maintain relevancy with proper post-launch support. The new Fable game could be great whenever it releases, whenever that happens. However, games that have development woes usually don't turn out great. There have been a few exceptions of this year over, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, but there are far more examples than exceptions. At the moment of publishing, none of the impacted parties have commented on this report, and the speculation it has created. If this changes, we will be sure to update. This is massive. Why is this massive? Because been there, done that type of scenario. It's almost seems like an ego type. It almost feels like they see what PlayStation is doing with their in-house engines, aka Decima engine, Naughty Dog engine, Sucker Punch engine, and all that jazz. So thank you, Nate. I'm gonna read it very quick. So this is updated on April the 1st, 22. A new report has shed light behind the scenes of State of Decay 3, the upcoming open-world zombie game from Undead Labs. Details published by Kotaku include allegations of sexism and mismanagement at the Microsoft-owned studio, and paint a picture of a game project which was still struggling to get off the ground, years after its official reveal. The State of Decay 3 began pre-production in late 2018, though developers at Undead Lab were reportedly poorly managed and the project took several team reorganization to get off the ground. Staff have claimed the game public announcement in 2020 was too early, and at that point Undead Lab didn't even know what it was. Hold up a minute. Yo, hold the phone. Nate, this is deja vu.
I mean,
No.
they've been doing.
Nate, this is literally Everwild.
Yeah, because they didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I will never forget that interview when he it boggled my mind to even say something like that in interview on air. We don't know what the game is going to be. So why the fuck would you even reveal it?
I mean, they were in a rush. Microsoft trying to hold up. They trying to play magic tricks. Look over here while I do this over here.
Here's the thing, I'm not focusing on report of alleged sexism, the female employees were ignored or blamed during meetings and subject to
I'm talking about the
sexist
actual development. They just included the entire report, but I'm talking about the troubled development.
Yeah.
All that shit going on. Like people, the struggle internally with, them not even being able to get off the ground. Microsoft expecting one thing while the team was under the impression of another. It's just, it's a mess.
How many studios are now suffering from this? We have the first one, which is the quadruple eight, the initiative. That's the biggest.
Which alone I find funny because we haven't seen anything from that game, and yet there was like a picture of like one of the devs, or I think maybe the director or something, but I know he was high up. He took a picture of his kid on the couch and he was like,
"Oh yeah,
man, look at my child playing our game," and I was like, well, that's funny that your child's playing it and none of us have fucking seen it.
I think that was Starfield. Or was that
No. That was that quadruplation.
Oh, okay. So that is
a guy from that team.
Speaking of Insomniac, one of the devs left them and went to Insomniac.
Well, no, he had left and then came back.
He was an Insomniac employee. Left, went to an exile. Realized
not in exile, but
not in exile.
That huge team is.
The quadruple A initiative realized it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and went back to Insomniac like, hey, one Spider-Man 2 development, please. One Wolverine development, please. So, here's the thing. This is you guys know I love banter. This is banter, but this is this is the biggest company in the industry. Can't manage their own studios.
But this is the problem, right? This company is begging for more to be under them, and they can't manage or produce anything out of the studios they have. And the one game they managed to put out, Halo, was in a fucking complete state of disarray, and it still, even with this new update, isn't even close to the available other things on the market in that competing genre. It just they literally just cannot get any of this shit right. So and it's the one game next year everybody's looking forward to from them the most was largely in development before they were purchased. So they didn't even make that.
Yeah. So first of all, we have an exile with State of Decay 3. That's one. We have Initiative. Two.
We're not in
Uh,
Exile. It's Undead Labs.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I don't know the studio's real talk. We have Playground Games, if I remember correctly. That's the one that's doing
They're
Fable.
doing Fable. Yeah.
So, out of Microsoft Studios, already I named 4 studios that have development issues. Mind you, I didn't even mention Rare with their Everwild Crisis. 5. I know people gonna bitch and moan and complain, but I'm gonna even add Ninja Theory uh, to
Why
that
not?
group.
We haven't seen that shit in forever, and what we did
Um,
see was like fucking weird. Whoever
that's
shows a game like that.
that's another what the fuck. They went to Iceland. They put out so many concept art, but actual gameplay. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not counting that horrendous gameplay reveal at Microsoft Bethesda Showcase. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
one
That
of
was.
the worst reveal I have ever experienced. I've seen indies do better reveal. Heck, what's that game name? Judas? Judas had better reveal than Hellblade 2. Is that fair to say?
Wait, you said
Nate,
what?
is that fair to say that Judas had better gameplay reveal than Hellblade 2?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at the fanfare for Judas after the show.
Hell, even whatchamacallit, Hades 2 had better gameplay reveal. Yo, this something is wrong at Microsoft. How? Uh, okay, is it fair to say Ninja Theory had the potential to be on the level of Insomniac Games?
I mean, I think they could have with the right management and the right people in charge helping them build teams and coordinate that effort.
Stardust, this is not like, you know me, I love banter, but
Phil is doing fine. Yeah, that's their impression. He's fine.
he's taking pictures. He is the coolest dude ever.
Surprised they don't be like, man, I was on the game last night. You know what I'm saying? With Phil, we was kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Call of Duty, how much he loves it. I just love Phil. What he's been doing for Xbox is absolutely wonderful.
Dude, how can your biggest again, I can't stress this enough how much I need to reiterate that Microsoft is bigger than PlayStation and Nintendo combined. Is that fair to say?
But, no,
Or
it is,
rather,
and they actually had that discussion on Brab earlier.
oh, go
They
ahead,
were saying
plug plug
he's
them.
like, well, no, the Basement Radio Arcade, some of the friends of the panel and stuff, they were having a discussion, and he was like, look, man, he was like, this is crazy that they've gotten more studios than everyone else. They already, like, having more money and more resources. They've had that since Xbox was made. Like, people keep acting like we've been waiting for 5 minutes. Like, no. And even the praise they get for the 360 era, most of those games that were super beloved by a lot of people, like Mass Effect, were third-party exclusives. They weren't games that Microsoft made. Even Gears of War, Microsoft didn't make that. Microsoft bought that from Epic.
There is
Like,
even a Gears of War demo on PlayStation available.
yeah,
A
but that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't.
screenshot of it. Not
We had a
screenshot,
conversation
a
about the things
video.
that they don't create. Like,
Wait,
Microsoft is not a company that
wait,
creates things.
wait, hold up. This feels another deja vu. Yo, get this. Starfield is is Gears of War. You get my
By the fact that
correlation?
you mean because they purchased it?
Yeah, because remember Starfield was announced. I'm pretty sure it was gonna come to PlayStation and Xbox.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So
PlayStation was already attempting
yeah,
to secure
precisely.
a deal, so yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there is somewhere in an archive hidden gameplay of for Starfield on PlayStation. Kinda like how Gears of War have a gameplay for PlayStation.
I mean, I never seen that, but I'm not the biggest Gears of War
Nah,
fan, so I
there
wouldn't.
is one. I remember seeing it with PlayStation button. Um, I will look it up and show it to you later on our group chat. Sorry, Weeb, you've been silent. Go ahead. What's your thought? He fell asleep. That's how important Microsoft is.
Well, you've kept on rambling too long that I really lost.
How did you? Okay, okay. I'm gonna bring it back. One, Microsoft is bad at managing their own studios. Taken
Yeah,
point,
okay.
taken point. Rare with Everwild. Initiative with what they're doing. Playground games with Table now. Halo Infinite and 343. And then we have Undead Lab with State of Decay 3. And then you can even debate which would be Ninja Theory with Hellblade 2.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your thought on that?
I mean, there's not much to disagree there. They are very bad at managing their studios. I think your initial point, I believe you were talking about the engine that they're forcing their developers to
Oh,
use their own engine.
yeah. So basically, the same issue that happened with Hellblade is happening with Fable. Basically, instead of telling people, companies, to make use of tools of an Unreal Engine 5, for example, no,
Yeah, yeah,
they're
I
forcing them to use their own tools.
yeah, I get it. Look, from I can understand that if you have your own engine, obviously, you don't have to pay license fees, and they have, or at least attempted to develop their own engines, like Slip Space, I think it was called the Halo engine, which and now they're even considering moving Halo Infinite to Unreal. So it's absolutely ridiculous how bad they are at that. And then they're still forcing their developers to use their internal engines, even though they know they suck. So yeah, um, again, I understand why, because you spend a lot of money developing an engine. It's probably the reason why it initially was said that Halo Infinite was like cost like $500 million or whatever. Um, so I can understand that they want to sort of recuperate their investments, but it's now essentially fucking over their own studios. And yeah, this is probably one of the reasons why it's taking so long, that they're basically forced to work with an engine that they're probably not used to in the first place, and that's probably not a very good engine that basically just makes it a pain in the ass to develop a game for it. So yeah, I mean, sucks to suck. Oh, sucks to suck. I mean, it's obvious that Microsoft hasn't really been able to improve their reputation, improve their abilities to manage these studios. I mean, I think that's also the reason why they're buying publishers, because they know when they buy a publisher, they basically essentially don't have to manage those studios. There is management in place. That's why they leave Bethesda mostly alone as sort of the separate entity, because they've bought the management with the studios. Um, Don't necessarily means that's a formula for success, because we know that Bethesda also has its issues, and also it's not really able to deliver their games on time. I mean, I would not be surprised if Starfield gets another delay, considering I don't think we have a release date yet. Um, so I mean, I, there will eventually be games, but I don't know, how long they will have to wait for that. Whether those games are going to be any good if they have such trouble development. I mean, there is a precedent there. Crackdown 3. No, we shouldn't mention it, but it's a clear example of what happens when a game gets delayed and rebuilt, and uh, you know any number of times. The end result will not be. Don't expect it to be a masterpiece, to say the least. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what to expect? They just don't really have any sort of roadmap, which is kind of concerning, because we see with PlayStation, they're releasing and they keep on coming. Probably throughout the entire life cycle of the console, there will be games dropping every year, and it doesn't look like Xbox has a plan like that. So it's entirely possible that they might drop like a ton of games at some point in the future in a single year, and then you might have a few years with nothing, because again, they don't know how to plan, they don't know how to properly manage those studios. So in the end, they'll still be doing the same shit they have been doing so far.
Um, what? So, would you agree or disagree that even Ninja Theory is in that boat?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't understand what the fuck's taking so long, because they should have been able to get a game out uh, by this time. So either they're really just fucking around and trying to figure things out, as the meme goes, or they have the problem that they're also forced to use an engine that used to and just can't get it to work.
Gotcha. Um, I know Innate need to leave, so very quick. PlayStation or not, Insomniac announced that Spider-Man 2 is swinging next year to our console. Do you guys believe that it's gonna make it, or do you guys think it's gonna get delayed?
I absolutely think they're going to make it. PlayStation Studios
Okay.
usually don't make announcements. I feel like, they waited until they were sure, and I think they're in a good place and they're ready to commit to that release date. So I think
Okay.
you'll get one solidified a little bit later in the year, and I think they'll stick it.
Okay. Another thing that has been going on is, and I'm gonna go to you, Weeb. Don't worry, I didn't forget you. The lack of showcase for Spider-Man. Do you think because of what happened with Puddlegate, we're not seeing anything until it's final build or close to final build?
You really think Puzzlegate, the non-issue, gonna concern them? Nah.
I
I
do
mean,
believe Puddlegate was an issue for them because they literally had to come out and debunk it.
did they though?
Yeah, they literally, one of the developer of Insomniac game, I think animator or whatever, he literally came out and said he needed to debunk that shit.
Well, I mean, I don't think they like needed to debunk it as a studio, but any individual developer is of course allowed to on their individual basis to comment on anything that people are whining about. But in the end, it was a fucking non-issue, right? I mean, the game eventually looked better than it did when it was first revealed. So I don't think they're really concerned with that. Um, of course, people will, especially a certain section of the gaming community, will find whatever they can to nitpick, even though, well, I guess that's probably the get when you don't have any games to play, that you just whine about the games you're not going to be able to play because you don't own a platform or no intention to buy it or have a platform but still whining about it. I don't know what's going on in their minds, uh, but I mean, I'm with Nate. I'm think the game will release when in the window they said it's going to release. I mean, with COVID going on, I can understand some games get delayed, but now I think they're pretty much set on being able to accurately indicate a launch window. And it's not like they said it's going to release like early 2023. They said fall, so that gives them ample leeway to to be able to make it in that time. Like Nate said, I don't think they would have announced this if they weren't sure that this was a feasible. That you don't generally do that, especially with big blockbuster titles, because you know how it works corporate, right? If you miss a deadline or miss a launch date, that will affect the stock prices, etc. So they don't want to mess that up. So yeah, pretty sure the game's going to release, fall next year, and and we'll probably get ample of showcases and trailers before that time. I think they're probably not going to do anything at the moment
Do you
because
think
it's too
it?
far off.
Do you think it was a missed opportunity to, release gameplay for this week, especially with the new release not Marvel, Into the Spider-Verse trailer?
Yeah, I agree. They could have cross promoted it a bit, but they probably will at some point. But I also think like that they have a lot in the pipeline, right? So I think they're also concerned that they probably should focus on particular games that are coming out sooner. Like Forspoken is a game they probably spend a lot of money on to get that exclusive. So I'm pretty sure that they want to ramp that up first before they can promote any other game.
Gotcha. And but the final one is gonna be for specifically me and Nate, cause you're not gonna play that game. Nate, Hogwarts Legacy. Apparently, you can torture people.
Sort them?
Torture them.
I didn't see that part. I saw it like being able to
Yeah.
take care of pets and
So
some
you
other cool stuff
can
they showed.
you can use the kill spell on them, and also you can genuinely torture them.
Oh wow, sounds like a real kid-friendly game.
So are you gonna be a good mage or bad mage?
I'm gonna be a get the shit done mage. So,
Or
if
are
they
you
force
gonna
me to
be,
go there, then we'll go there.
or are you gonna go two playthroughs, one good, one bad?
I could never do a fully bad playthrough. That's just not who I am. I
I'm
never manage that.
okay. Even if the second playthrough is a totally different build, like for example, good mage, good different build than bad mage.
Yeah, but I can never be completely bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't. Like
no,
I've beaten Mass Effect 1 27 times and never done a full Renegade playthrough. It's just not
gotcha,
because when shit just doesn't make sense and you're just being an evil person for no reason, like it throws me off.
gotcha. For the people in the comment that are getting Hogwarts Legacy, are you gonna go with the good mage or bad mage? Let me know in the comment section. And with that being said, shout out to everyone that came through. This was a short one. Also, we like people. Let me know if you wanna do one next week or not, cause I know it's close to the holidays, close to end of the year and all that jazz. So we're gonna talk about it, and let's get to our outro. Weeb, where people can find you.
You can find me on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Infamous Rising, and maybe on YouTube, but I don't really do anything on YouTube aside from
Gotcha.
this.
And Nate, where people can find you.
Yeah, just innate everywhere else and on Twitter at the real innate. Keep it gaming.
Oh yeah,
But
Otter Nation. Ha.
oh,
Thought I would forget about that, huh, Omar?
apparently auto donation is it then. As for me, people can find me on Carbon Scorchab on Twitter. When it comes to Game Slayer, I mean Anime Squad. Uh, Here is the thing. I love talking about One Piece. Yeah, I truly do. Me and we love doing so, but by constantly just being the only two people, it's not fun. And I have now me and B, we have decided to shut it down, at least for now. If I get more people, then we're gonna start it back up. Otherwise, it's gonna be closed down for as of right now. Cause yeah, as much as I want to, sadly I don't have the audience. And when you don't have the audience and you're on two people, you might as well just do it off air, which is what I'm gonna do with Weep. And with that being said, thank you all for coming through. This was, despite the fact that we were with few people, great show, and see you next week.
Bye.
Later.